I never imagined that love could twist itself into such a cruel knot. It started with her, Sofia. She was wild, unpredictable, and had a smile that could disarm the sharpest of hearts. I was just an ordinary guy with a mundane job and an unremarkable life, but she was fire, and I was a moth. We met on a rainy evening at a rundown café downtown. Her mascara was smudged from tears or rain. I couldn't tell. All I knew was that I wanted to be the reason she never cried again. And for a while, I was. Our relationship was intense, intoxicating, and at times, destructive. Sofia had a way of pulling me into her chaos, and I followed willingly, even when it led to dark places. She introduced me to people I had no business knowing and situations I had no business being in. One night, she called me in a panic. Her voice trembled through the phone as she told me she was in trouble. Without hesitation, I grabbed my car keys and rushed to her location. When I arrived, I found her standing next to a man lying unconscious on the ground. Blood pooled around his head. "He attacked me," she stammered. "We have to go, now." I didn't question her. I took her hand and we ran. But running doesn't erase evidence, and loyalty doesn't erase guilt. Days later, the police knocked on my door. Sofia was nowhere to be found. In court, I stayed silent. I took the blame because I believed in us, in her. I spent 2 years in a small, cold cell, clutching onto the hope that when I got out, she'd be waiting. But she wasn't. I found out through a mutual friend that Sofia had left the city, and me. Worse, she wasn't alone. She had run away with another guy, someone she had apparently been seeing even before the night everything went wrong. The betrayal cut deeper than any prison sentence ever could. I spent countless nights replaying our memories, wondering if anything had been real. Prison changes you. The first few months were unbearable. The walls felt like they were closing in, and the silence screamed louder than any noise. I kept a photo of Sofia hidden under my mattress, a crumpled reminder of the life I thought we had. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, her smile, and the way her hand felt in mine the night we ran. But time does something strange to a person. It dulls even the sharpest pain. I started to notice the small things, the way sunlight filtered through the barred windows in the mornings, the rare moments of laughter shared with other inmates, and the letters from my sister that reminded me someone still cared. I was released on a crisp autumn morning. The sky was impossibly blue, and the world felt both familiar and foreign. My sister picked me up, and we drove in silence for a while before she said, "You need to let her go." Let her go. As if it were that easy. The days after my release were a blur. I walked aimlessly through the city, retracing old steps, passing by the café where we first met, and the park bench where we had our first argument. Everything felt haunted by her memory. Then one day, I saw her. She was sitting in an outdoor café across the street, her hair shorter, her laugh just as infectious. Next to her was the guy she had left me for. They looked happy, carefree in a way I no longer remembered how to be. I wanted to march across the street, demand answers, scream at her, tell her how much she had broken me. But I didn't. I turned around and walked away. Healing isn't linear. Some days, I wake up feeling like I've moved on, like the weight of her has finally lifted. Other days, I feel like I'm still in that cell, trapped by the ghosts of our past. But I'm learning. I've started a small job at a mechanic shop. I go for long walks in the evenings. I'm trying to find pieces of myself that I lost along the way. Sometimes, love feels like a prison sentence. But even prisons have exits. And one day, I'll walk through mine for good.